Hello everyone, my name is Joy and I'm a part of our Bromley North congregation. And this morning we are going to be looking at the last bit of Hebrews 12. We've been in Hebrews 12 for a few days now. So today's verses are 25 through 29. And the thing that really stood out to me, and the thing that I want us to focus on this morning, is this whole idea of things being shaken and of us receiving an unshakable kingdom, a kingdom that cannot be shaken. And how this actually leads us into reverence and awe and worship of who our God is. For our God is a consuming fire. And that's a really powerful image, isn't it? And the author to Hebrews is not the only one to sort of use this language of things being shaken, some things, falling away, being removed, and this idea of like a purifying fire. In the book of Peter, for example, we've been going through 1 Peter as a church, actually, on Sundays. And Peter talks a lot about, being refined. And God, sometimes he allows things in our lives that will purify us and refine us. With metals, I don't really know too much about this, but from what I understand, to purify a metal, like silver or gold, they'll heat it up really hot, and it'll kind of be melted down, and the impurities will be able to be removed. And so sometimes that's what God allows to happen to us in our lives. Things can be shaken in our lives, and the things that are not of Jesus and his kingdom will then be able to be removed, will fall away, will prove themselves to not be, of eternal value. And I think the world has sort of been experiencing this shaking recently, in the last year and a bit with the pandemic. It has felt like a time of shaking, where people have put their trust in the government, or in the economy, in their jobs, in their businesses, whatever it might be. These things are not bad in and of themselves, but when they become our sole focus, and when they replace God on the throne of our hearts, then that becomes a problem. And we've been going through this time of shaking where we've seen that actually the only one who is unshakable is God, and his kingdom is the only kingdom that's really unshakable. And we need to put our trust in Jesus and not in all of these other things. These other things take second place to Jesus. And I was reminded as well of Jesus' parable in Matthew 7 about the wise and the foolish builders. So the wise man, he built his house on the rock, and the foolish man built his house on the sand. And, all was well until the storm came, the wind and the waves and the rain. And then it was found out which house was built on the solid foundation. And it was the house built on the rock that was the house that stood. And so my question for us this morning is to consider, what are you building your life on? Are you pursuing kingdom values? Are you putting your trust in Jesus? Are you building your life on him and the way that he has called us to live? Are you trusting him with everything? Or have other things maybe taken the place of Jesus? And are you trying to build on a foundation of sand? So it's very challenging, but it's good. God is good, and he has good plans for us, and he lets us be shaken and purified because that will allow us to be more like Jesus. That will allow us to live better lives. We'll be able to love more like him. We'll be able to love our neighbors as ourselves. We'll be able to live the way he wants us to live, which is the best way of living. So I want to encourage you this morning to build your life upon the rock, which is Jesus. And even if the winds and the waves come against you, when you've built your life on him, you will not fall. You will not be shaken or toppled. We are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. So let us be thankful and worship God acceptably with reverence and awe. Take care, everyone.